Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be starting to build a welding trailer, I guess you could call it that. I picked up a new welder recently, and I've always been wanting to have one on a trailer, like have a little mobile trailer. That way if I need to, something happens to my truck or whatever, I have a welder on a trailer. I can pull behind anything more or less. So let me show you what welder I picked up. So this is going to be my new rig. I'm just kidding. My neighbor gave this to me. It had a box on it, and more or less I pulled the box off. The van's been sitting here for a little while, but no, I'm just kidding. But check this out. So Miller Bobcat, but here's the cool part. Kubota Diesel. It's a D722 Kubota. So it is a high-speed diesel, but nonetheless still diesel. And check this out though. This is the best part. So the best I can tell from that serial number, I believe it's a 2008. But check this. 42 hours on this bad boy. If you all have been following along with the channel for some time, you know my Freightliner I have. If you recall, one of my subscribers, Mr. Joe, he gave me some batteries for the truck, and more or less he texted me a couple weeks ago and said, hey, my dad's got this Bobcat, Miller Bobcat for sale. Do you want it? So I said, yeah, maybe, send me some pictures, how much you want for it, so on and so forth. So he sent me some pictures. I'm like, man, I didn't even know it was a diesel. Once I found that out, I'm like, man, I can't pass that up. That's a good deal for that, especially when it only has 40 hours on it. So I picked it up. But this trailer that we're going to build, it's not going to be specific for this. We're going to build it with this in mind. This is what's going to go on it. But I also want to be able to put my my 200, 300, put an SC200 on it if I need to. So that's the goal. But I just let me just go ahead and start this thing up for you guys real quick. I got it stuck in low idle, so when it fires up, it's going to stay in low idle. Here's what we got going on. Got some 4-inch channel. This is going to be used for from the tongue down the side on each side, and then I don't know if I have any more 4-inch channel. If not, I've got some 3-inch channel right there that we're going to use for our cross members. My old welding bed, that's going to be coming up in some videos here recently, or pretty soon I should say. There's that. That's what we're going to be using for the main frame. And then I've got this axle here. This is a torsion axle. It's a Dexter. I believe it's a Dexter axle. But a friend of mine had this, and I believe it came off like an old air compressor trailer. So something happened where the air compressor went bad, and he got this off of it. But it's 43 and a half from the outside of each of these, and I probably will bolt it as well, but I'm just going to weld it to the frame for now, because it's probably going to stay on the trailer, on this trailer whenever it happens. But I'm going to make it to the outside of this perch here, weld it to it, and then I'll probably come on the inside and I'll put some plate down the side and put a couple bolts in here, just so we have a welded connection and a mechanical connection. But I mean, with the torsion axle, if it's welded, so what? It's no big deal. But that's the plan with that. I don't think I'm going to need brakes on it, because I think this is a 3,500 pound axle. The tag is gone. Something's gone right there, but there's that. But I'm pretty sure it's a 3,500 pound axle. Welder of choice tonight is going to be the old 220 MP. My last video about this thing, you guys, I forgot to try it out on 110, because it's a 110 or 220 welder. I had forgotten to try it out whenever I was doing my initial review of it, more or less. But we're not going to get into that right now. We're going to save that for another time. I would try it out, but more or less we're just going to get to work. We're going to be using probably some 60-10 to tack everything, and then 70-18 to weld most everything up tonight. pretty straightforward, but I've got a 220 plug down here at the shop. So overall length of the trailer is probably going to be like either 9 or 10 feet. I've got a 20-foot stick here. I'm going to go see if I got some more 4-inch channel, but when I lay this trailer out, it's going to be 10 foot, 9 or 10 foot from the tongue back. That way it will give us plenty of room to put a weld machine, and also like a nice job box or something on the front of it. I went ahead and picked up, I was anticipating this already, so I picked up a jack and a weld-on 2 5/16 Kurt. Got both these off Amazon, but that's special here. But I'm gonna go see if I can find me another piece of 4-inch channel real quick, and then we'll get started on this project. So I already kind of messed up. I wanted to cut my notches at 7 foot from the rear, and I cut the first one. I'm like, why didn't that look right? And it was 6 foot. So it might work out better if I might trim off a foot anyway, but this should be plenty of room to stick a 200 in here, you know, more or less from the back to the front, but also, you know, I'll still be able to put a decent sized job box on the front of the tongue if we keep it this long. Might trim a little bit off of it, depending on what kind of angle. Like this winds up being up here. Once those come together, if it looks like it's okay, I'm gonna stick with that. But this is how I'm gonna do it. I don't have any more 4-inch channel, but I found a piece of 2x4 tube that I'm gonna put across the back, and I'm actually gonna probably overhang it on each side some, so that way the fender might be able to, I don't know yet. I'm gonna leave it out the back end off for now, but I might extend it just a little bit, maybe even just for lights, then worry about the fender. I don't really know, but I'm gonna square it up as is. This concrete here is actually pretty. This piece was poured the last, and it's actually, you know, just looking down it, there's really no big gaps on each side. So I'm gonna weld it up upside down. I'm gonna weld the axle on upside down, pull it together, go ahead and weld the tongue on upside down. Once that's together, and then I'll flip it back over. So that's what we're gonna do now. Gonna get started squaring this up, square from corner. I'm gonna go to my notch there. That's 6 foot. Well, you know, from back to front 6 foot. But I'm gonna square from the back end to there to there. Put these about where you know, the machine would more or less would sit, and I'm gonna add in probably another couple cross members at some point or somewhere. But get this put together, get the axle on, flip it over, and then we'll talk about what I want to put on it. we're about wrapped up here on the bottom side. Axle is mostly welded on. Got some nice beads there on the outside. Put some little gussets up here. Hitch is welded on. From here, gonna flip it over, weld a little bit, obviously on the underside right here. Should be on the top once you turn it over. But also, let me clarify something real quick. If you guys have seen my glove, it's not because the gloves are bad, it's because my dang dog got a hold of it somehow. I don't know when, but I walked out here, it was laying in the yard, and the dog got a hold of it. You can see I already burnt my thumb because I grabbed the rod. So I'll put a little bit of tape on that, be good as new. But I actually like these gloves because they're not, they're a little bit big in the fingers. I'm not sure what size these are. Maybe try one size smaller, but they're like a good, they're not too thick, not too heavy. I kind of like them. But yeah, not Forney's fault, my fault, because my dang dog got a hold of them. So, but other than that, we're gonna try to get this thing turned over now. Now that I have a tractor, should be pretty easy to pick it up, turn it over. And yeah, I don't have any tires for it yet. I'm about to get some tires. Looks like I'm about to get some studs for this side too, or some lugs, I should say. But I'm gonna add another cross member, another 3-inch cross member, probably in the middle between these two here somewhere. But I'm gonna wait till I turn it over and then we'll figure it out. And just like that, good as new. It's a little big there, but this is some 3M friction tape. I use this all the time on my work gloves, because every now and then you'll wear like a thin spot in the finger or something, and I just put a little bit around that. You get a lot more life out of the gloves. If you just put a little nick in one or something, put a little bit of this on there, and it's not, because it's not electrical tape. It's like a thread tape almost. It's called friction tape, but anyhow, put a little bit of that on there. Should be good to go for a little while longer. So this is going to wrap up part 1. Everything that's here is pretty much welded out. Got my 3 cross members in this one here. So the distance from this one to the back one here is what I need for the bolt holes to line up on the Bobcat. And then for a 200 or whatever else I might put in here, I could either maybe weld some brackets on it or something, but I'm thinking just get some U-bolts to go over the frame of the 200 or whatever, and then do it that way. I ordered wheels and tires and some lugs, so waiting on those to come in. And for across the back here, like I said, I got some 2x4 tube that I'm going to run across the back and probably stick out, probably bring it out to where the wheel is to kind of maybe shield it a little bit. I don't know, but I do want to add a pick point center on it, so if I want to pick it up, pick the whole thing up and need to move it off the side of the road or move it with the machine or something, have a lifting point on it. Also, my plan is to machine in the middle. Off to one side, I want to have probably this side. I'm going to put I want to run an oxygen bottle, and I want to run a CO2 bottle. That way I can have I have a little suitcase welder, so I want to be able to run dual shield with that as well. So that's my plan for this. And then up here, I also thought about maybe trying to see about getting an air compressor to put on here, an engine drive air compressor, and then I could still put a decent size, either build a toolbox up here in the tongue or a job box or something. But I want to have, if I can, I want to have everything, to do, maybe pick up some more side work, have an air compressor and a suitcase and do a little of everything. So that's the plan, but for now, this is where it's going to be left off. I don't know if we'll get onto something else, maybe possibly modifying the bed there to fit the next welding truck, or maybe we'll get back on this, I'm not sure. But anyhow, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next video.